Hi, YouTube. I hope you're doing good. I am all right. I don't know. I'm just considering like the way most people I meet in my life, it's just like two things. They get pleasure from acting shady and like they can't hide their lying eyes. That song comes into mind and their smiles just can't disguise. But anyway, I mean, just it the lie within itself because of the game that they have to try and save face for. It's like, why? Who fucking cares? You're doing what you're doing anyway, so why don't you do like the pleasure they derive from the little game they play for themselves? It's like that's the part that gets me. Anything else at this point, it's not ever gonna be like I was when I was very young and very gullible. That'll never hit me that way again. It hasn't for decades, so. But why continue? So this woman that Doug kind of fantasized about in front of me or whatever, like some years ago, just one of the many, but I mean, I said, well, I'm going to invite her here. I'll see my grandkid anyway. And he starts calling her all names, and I'm just like ignoring him. He has no right to call her names. They're in the same boat. He didn't have anything happen to him, you know, like get a grip. I'll call the cops on her. I said, no, that's not going to happen, because she wanted to come and visit anyway. So I'm thinking, why not? I might as well go for round two of the shenanigans. Who cares if not her, somebody else? Whatever, whatever, people. Just go in the other room, leave me alone. Why lie? Why call names, for somebody that you were so sweet to? Whatever. Because I wasn't two-faced or sweet when she was telling me how horny she was. I was telling her, well, um, maybe you should not think that way right now with two kids, a little tiny baby and another like 4-year-old. And well, that's what my grandma said. That's why, and her grandmother's words were, that's why she wanted her to get fixed so that wouldn't happen again. It's like, yikes. But I mean, so I didn't hide my feelings from anybody when they were talking their bullshit. I never do, like whatever. So yeah, that might be in the works. Well, for sure, I'll be seeing my other granddaughter from her another time anyway. I know right where they live anyway. So yeah, but what a bunch of bullshit. I did play some songs in my community, some that you might not ever heard of before, or maybe once, or like one from 1939. Or let me see, they swam all over the dam. Yeah. Anyway, it's a song about three little fish that didn't do what their mom told them to do and what happened. you know. So didn't take mother's advice when she was trying to keep them safe. It's like, okay, whatever, you know, you got to do you. So they say, yeah. So anyway, I don't belong here. Anybody else, raise your hand. I can't just want to socialize with people that are just weak like that. I mean, there are groups of people that have strength to them and integrity that can control and want to, you know. Those are my type of people, you know. And I don't say anything different, and I won't pretend any different, but like I was hearing somebody say that well, like they like to hang out with somebody that had actually cheated on them and that type of personality. Well, for me, if it had never happened, even in a mental state, like an emotional state out of people, I'd want to hang around with them, but just knowing that they're like that, I don't want to watch it all the rest of my life and have an instant replay on pain, you know. No, I want to shake that pain and have good times and clean, healthy friends, just for me personally. I've been where it's like, well, I can overlook anything and be friends with people, and yeah, up to a point. But then there's ones that derive the pleasure from even opening up wounds that were closed for their own pleasure. You know, it's like, no, I'm not going to even let you see where I have a wound. If I have a wound, you would never even know it. That's going to be my attitude from here on out, you know. But I won't be hanging around with the people or the people that hang around with the people like them. No, I don't tolerate anything anymore. I'll probably have no friends by the time I get done here, you know, or very few, you know. Oh yeah, lack of self-control. And I did share a Dr. Sean Baker. I mean, yeah, I mean to be, it's just like my body mass index, it would be considered high, but I'm muscular. And so my BMI isn't quite like maybe somebody else that would weigh the same, but were blubbery, you know. But I mean, so I mean, just speaking health wise, and how now institutions and commercials and models, they're trying to push people that are overweight like it's a good thing. Yes, acceptable, of course. You never know what a person's gone through that their health has suffered or food wise before a lot of people realized real terrible things that were in our diets, you know, stuff like that. But to actually glorify being unhealthy, that's not a cool thing. Yeah, there's a lot of beautiful big people. That has nothing to do with what I'm saying here. It's like being conscious of what you put in your mouth. And I do think you'll stay in better shape if you have God in your heart naturally, you know. But living around people that are narcissistic, your health will suffer. Um, your digestion process is thrown off, at least mine is, by actions or timing or even a well-placed word or sound that my human body cannot effing deal with anymore. You know, I'm serious. It's kind of like weaker people are trying to make me as sick as them. Well, it isn't like that. That's exactly what it is. I did some different exercises today. I put my leg up past 36 inches, but so past the length of your leg is what you want to do up in the air. Find something stable and then lean forward like 30 stretches with your leg leaning forward in a bent position. I might show you some of my stuff later or another time, but Anyway, I did 30 of them on each leg, and then I stretched out, leaning forward like this and, you know, touching my toes and back up again. Did that 4 times on each leg to incorporate that stretch in. And then I went up to my washing machine and I put my arms backwards and I walked out as far as I could go without falling and putting that tension on the back of my arms and did some lifts, body lifts with my whole body like that. As far as you can extend your legs and as far as you can extend your arms and do that 30 times. And you can see how strong I am. And that's recovering from a broken arm and another messed up shoulder and stuff like that. Try that. Seriously, you don't need a gym. I keep telling people, and especially my one son that would always want to do the gym thing, it's like, why waste your money unless you are just going there to socialize? And for him, he was a narcissist, a lazy one on the prowl for monetary gains so he wouldn't have to do anything besides be cute on this planet. And if those type of people don't get their way like that, well, even if they do get their way like that, they're still going to try and take their miserable effing life out on you because that's just who they are. So, yeah, it's the truth. So I'm not going to sit here and listen like the Spirit of Christ has come into somebody. The thought of it, yeah, but the actual spirit, it's uh, it's vacant. Hello, nobody's home. You know, maybe round two, but not this time. Yeah, what a bunch of zombies. You know, I know there's other people there in deep, deep, deep dark pain, and I don't even go there. It's like, no, you aren't putting me there. I'll never be that sad over you because you're not worth it. Mm-mm. No. And if that's the person I was meant to spend the rest of my soul, my life, my eternity with, fuck that. No, thank you. That's my response. So, excuse my language. So, anyway, yeah, I try, but I gotta speak for myself. Um, I'll be faithful in the presence of somebody, and I won't even have to worry about it when I'm on my own, but I'm on my own anyway, and I'm still a loyal person, so I'd rather go do that by myself than be around people that don't care to do that. Two types of people I'm looking for: the ones that understand what I just said and want to abide like that in their lives, and then you'll understand me, I'll understand you. And if we did have a argument or a disagreement, pretty much we'd probably be able to work through it, you know, like adults talk, that type of thing. So yeah, without having to psychoanalyze each other's brains or hearts or souls because we're understood like that. So it's not like everything we do is just cool or not, and it's not that's not what I'm talking about, but it's not such a grievance thing that people can overlook certain things in people. They're just certain things that for me personally, I can't be around anymore. I just can't, you know. So hey, maybe this woman with my grandchild wants to buy half my place and move in, and then he can have his fantasy, and I can go buy a little place and talk to the people I'm talking to that actually care about me anyway. The ones that I hear are saying the words that comfort me in my life because they understand exactly what they got to the point in their lives that I'm in. and it's a lingering feeling. It's not something that goes, um, I don't regress, is what I'm saying. Yeah, I can forgive. But, it's that can forgive people and never want to be around them again, that type of thing. But I don't need to be wounded in the same spot over and over and over again until I finally get the point. Hey, I got your point, you know. So yeah, just certain people in this world that belong together and don't belong around people that are faithful, true and loyal and honest. All those good qualities that I thought came natural to people. If you were raised in turmoil and it didn't seem right to you and you were able to live a different type of life, you knew that, so did they, and these people still know, you know? They just freaking derive pleasure where there isn't any in a normal human being. And I'm not even disgusted or disturbed about it. I'm just, yeah, I'm sad, you know? It's sad to me, you know. Anyway, so I hear voices of men that had actually lived that actual loyal spot in their life, or at least it seems like it. And yeah, well, for me, it's way beyond once bitten, twice shy. It's like you just about got me chewed up, you know. So there's nothing left to chew on. Anyway, the first song I played this morning was Dionne Warwick, I'll Never Fall in Love from 1966, I think. I'll Never Fall in Love Again. Yeah, I was, see, 6 years old when I first heard that. Wow, that's a while ago. Then I started thinking of a song, well, Captain and Tennille, the one song, I mean, it's a stupid song, the lyrics in a way, from Captain and Tennille called Muskrat Love. I almost played that because the music is really cool. But then they had a hit that was called Love Will Keep Us Together, and I thought, you're lying to everybody. I knew it, like 1973, Love Will Keep Us Together. It was like a year later. They weren't together. I think he cheated on her or something. I don't know. But it was all a lie. I knew even when they wrote that catchy little song, two liars, not just one. Like, wow. Anyway, maybe they wrote the song and then decided that was a lie. I don't know. Maybe that's when they wrote Muskrat Love. No, I think that was before then. Not sure. I'm going to look it up. I might put it on here. It's the music that I thought was so pretty, like the beginning of it. And it's a pretty good song actually. It's kind of corny. But that is what it feels like to love a narcissist. It's muskrat love, you know. You know it's a rat, but you love your rat. Did you ever see the movie Ben? That's a good song too. Look it up. the theme from the movie Ben. It's beautiful. I think Michael Jackson sang it. In fact, I'm pretty sure he did. Yeah. Then there's another rat movie. I think it's called Willard. Oh, that's wicked. That's a horror movie. Yeah. Well, they're not very nice movies, you know. Yeah. I'm living with I don't know what you're talking about, and um like trying to put stuff. Oh, well, like I'm not living in the past, or I'm not supposed to, or something like that, and then the silent treatment type of stuff, and it's like, dude, I am not even trying to talk this thing through. That is not even close to where my mind is at. Not fucking even close, you know? So my mind is more like sitting on a beach without all this bullshit. And then if there's other people on the beach that are actually enjoying like the water in the day, actually seeing human beings doing things I like to do, that's um that's a lot of my life that I intend to live in the future, you know. I don't know when, maybe after I drop dead. Things don't seem to be going like I had hoped anyway, so. And they might, you know, they say whoever they are, life is what you make it. Yeah, I made a heck of a life. It's just the vibration of the lying eyes that I have to live around, that's all. No big deal. Just that I can't find anybody in my close proximity with any backbone or strength or virtues, morality, or high intelligence. So nothing wrong with that. God dang it. Yeah. What I consider high intelligence isn't a deceiving nature that can use that amount. Yes, everybody's created equal, but we don't end up that way. And no, everybody is not equal. So there you go, and I just said it. Chew on it. Whatever you want to think about that. Don't care. And if you feel the same way, hey, cool. You know? Yeah, forgive your enemies and their trespasses, then they're going to forgive yours. Yeah, okay. If I trespass on them, I hope that they do. Other than that, shut the fuck up. You know? I pay my respects to God and man, but only man up to a point, you know. And I don't listen to anybody, not really. Even when they're talking, it's all sort of superficial. It's like, yeah, but how much God is in there, you know? And for me, it isn't just about forgiveness, even though I love that song, Heart of the Matter by the Eagles. Yeah. I like those shoes. That's my favorite. What you gonna do in those shoes? They've been waiting for you, got to score you, um, hit you with a shovel. They're so sincere. Ooh, you gotta give love. Wait, let me see if I can remember the rest, some of it. Anyway, I have it over in my community. It's a good song. That's my favorite part in the song, besides the question, what you gonna do in those shoes? Oh, and whatever. I just hate people pretending that they care about me and like me when they don't like people like me at all. You know? Why lie about it? Oh, I know why. I'll tell you why. Because when I work hard or do things or whatever, I do it the best, and that I do things that can't be replaced that other people would not do, strength wise in our lives out here in the country. That's why. Otherwise, I'm flippin' expendable. I always have been. So I don't do dirty seconds, you know. Anyway, if you get my drift. So, or what? Oh, sloppy seconds. Yes, that's it for you guys. So yeah, that's why nobody's touched me for a very long time. And yes, I have yearnings, but I put that in God's hands. It's like, yeah, I still got a husband, whatever you call that thing, you know, the great pretender, whatever. But it's not a friend of mine, and I don't like hanging around it. It lies and it cheats. I don't want to watch that shit. It's not going to change, you know. So what? I'm not going to be like somebody else. I'm not going to resign to the fact that I'm going to be okay and just live out the rest of my life and pretend nothing's wrong or whatever. No. And then somebody says they pray and they've got God in their heart and they're a good man, good enough. Mm, whatever. Whatever you think a man is or a woman, whatever. All you. You know. Well, we haven't gotten as warm today or yesterday as they said it might have been, but we still might have that coming up. But yeah, which is okay. And I am giving second thought of spending time with my oldest son because this person, okay, yeah, he is psycho psychopath or not psychopath, excuse me. He has schizophrenia. That's a lot different than psychotic. He can get that way, but it's a whole lot different. Like if drugs or alcohol are involved, it's his personality is a lot different than when that isn't the case, you know. So I've been really giving that some deep thought. And I know Doug would rather me not even be close with either of my kids. That's been his ulterior motive. That is not my motive. I am a family woman, whether he wants to be that or not a part of that. That's that's up to him. That goes for his daughter too. I love my kids and I am here for them. It depends on them though. I have to be met at least part of the way. It's like just to like you're still kind of small like that, so like just grab my hand till we get over there, you know? It's like type of feeling, you know? Like if you're going to the park with your kids, you just don't let them run ahead of you, you know? Not if you really care. Oh, anyway, just thoughts, you know? I made, well, a while ago here, I made some homemade peanut butter and I used olive oil and honey instead of sugar and vegetable oil. And any kind of oil is fat, the same with the peanut oil in the peanuts, but it's still a pretty good protein, you know. But yesterday I totally destroyed my homemade peanut butter, but I made peanut butter bars, and on each square that I cut into a cookie, and I also made this with a little bit of white sugar and a little bit of brown sugar, and then I put a dollop of fudge on top of it. So it was peanut butter bars with fudge on there. So fudge peanut butter bars. And some of the peanuts were sort of chunky in my peanut butter because I heard Robin's Hood talk about a peanut butter cookie. It was a few days ago, and that got me thinking, yeah, I should make some. And I did, and they're good. And I do make them lower fat and lower sugar than a lot of recipes because you really don't need, I mean, with the fudge on top, the dough could have a little less junk in it. So anyway, I had a couple of them last night. They were good. I made pizza rolls, and we had coleslaw and cottage cheese by them, and a couple peanut butter bars. So not super healthy, but not absolutely horrible either. So I don't know what tonight's gonna bring. Probably a lot of quiet time by myself like all of my life so I don't snap on these stupid motherfuckers that keep playing games with each other. Why don't you just leave me out of it, you little freaks? Stop pretending with me. We have absolutely nothing in common. Besides that, we're human and we all have a chance to do the right things on the planet, but adults that don't strive for that, we have nothing in common at all. Oh, and that reminds me, I'm not going to mention your last name, Linda. I blocked you, I unfriended you on Facebook because I don't get into naked pictures of shit disguised as cartoons out of wherever the F your mind is at. Mine isn't in the same place. And that's the last thing that I need to get on and see in my day, in my life. I get on my Facebook and my daughter-in-law or grandkids or people that have like a modicum of respect for who I am in my life. Um, those are the ones that are there. And typically, um, I laugh or I learn something, but the last thing I'm going to see is lewd, crude, and think you're fucking shrewd. Blow it out your ass, okay? You're welcome to be here, and if you want to talk to me like the young lady God meant you to be, but you know the shit you did to me and the lies you told and the rest of your bullshit, messenger bullshit, and even though I tried to help you, so, I still care about you and I think about you. And it's not in bad respects. That's why I'm not saying your last name. But no, I'm not talking to you on Facebook. If you have something to say, you can do like you did before. Go back into one of my older videos and we can talk. And that's as close as you're getting to me, young lady. Okay, thank you. So anyway, I have enough child minds closely connected to me that I'm not going to counsel or even befriend somebody that doesn't take that value in my integrity in mind, and you know that it's there. You always have. So just don't take it any further. Stop playing. It's not becoming of the person that you're meant to be. In other words, don't let Satan use your ass. It's just not a good look on you. You're too beautiful for that. Stop it. So we'll talk later, in other words. Yeah. So yeah, I actually am thinking about helping my oldest son. I mean, he's got his own money and things too, and it isn't that I need him to be right underfoot or anything, you know. It's actually more than, I don't know, I have other things in mind. I don't even know if I'm going to be here through the winter. I really know. See, it's hell in the summer, but it's worse hell in the winter because I'm actually totally, the windows are closed. There's no reprieve from the nonsense, you know. Um, Being in close proximity with one person with a controlling nature in the middle of winter on the great tundra and sometimes no escape is not my idea of a future of any kind. It just doesn't appeal to me. So I did, however, have times in my life where my oldest son was working in town, and I was working in town at a department store. Excuse me, cashier. And I'd go in before work. I'd like buy him a coffee and stop over at his house, and we'd have coffee time together and talk. And those were some good times. In fact, I know he thinks those were some of our best times without Doug, without their dad, without even his little brother around. That is more psychotic and chaotic and violent. So without the monsters around in our life, we actually, and I know my daughter-in-law will understand this, we actually had some, before um, the advent, and I would say this is a fact, of with that neck injury and those opioids that were prescribed, you know, that was a big onset. And I do believe it was all dark ball planned, and I believe even his brother was used as a tool against him to give him a total injury. If you had seen the shit I seen, you'd kind of think that, and I think my daughter-in-law knows, you know what I mean right there. And it just seemed to get worse and worse, and the darkness kept trying to invade where it didn't belong. So I'm not giving up on my kids, is what I'm saying. You know, even if I can't have people around me, I won't give up on Doug either. I wish him, you know, I'll help him make his fantasies come true, you know, because he's not ever getting close to my heart again. I don't care like that. I just don't like the tomfoolery. I don't like the bullshit and the lies. Other than that, you know, but it's their game. It's the only pleasure they can derive when there's no other as what they would call like source for their fuel for their retarded bullshit, you know? And I don't know why they just don't keep doing it to each other, but they like to involve people that wouldn't do that. And that's the part that pisses me off, you know? Just that. It's always been just fucking that. Leave me out of it. Morons, are you that goddamn stupid? Evidently so. Oh, yeah. Hey, everybody else, you're living with that stuff and it's acceptable. Best wishes for real. Because it does disrupt my physiology. Even like I say, there's words, songs, movements, times of days, meal interruptions, weird shit, that these are practiced witchcraft tactics that have been used for hundreds and thousands of years towards human beings. And I am around the master of that shit. Do you understand that? Yeah, well, so I can't put a stop to it. I can put real love in his heart where he's never actually ever had that before and leave him to his own devices. But actually, now I'm more like with my exes. I'm gonna set your ass up, you stupid bitch, and you're gonna be sorry you fucking played with me. How's that sound? Sounds pretty good to me. So, because I just kept asking, hey, don't involve me. Just quit. Don't act like you're close to me. Don't act like a husband. Don't pretend. You know, it's like when I took his rings away from him, we had a couple different sets. It's like, you are not representing me out on this planet. You are not telling other people that I'm your other half. Fuck that. No way. So that's just me personally. That's how I do things. So no, I'm not looking for revenge. I'm looking to make his fantasies come true, having nothing to do with me. Just whatever you want that makes you happy. If it makes you happy, that song, then why the hell are you so sad? you know? So yeah. Don't get it. People pretending they like me. Stop it. I'm not pretending. Why are you? I actually love you. I just don't like you, and I'm not pretending at all. So what's the problem? Why can't you just lie to each other and with each other and leave me out of it? You know? It's not good enough for you. You can't have the whole world and leave someone that doesn't want the whole world alone. I mean, yeah, I'm alone. Well, thank you for that. But I mean, left alone? For somebody with a trashy mindset, a loose, uncontrollable, or very controllable mind, what could you possibly have in common with me? You know? Besides the fact, if we were the same gender, if we both came from the country, or which I didn't. I grew up on the edge of a city, but had a lot of opportunities to do a lot of things out in the country that a lot of other people didn't have. So I kind of had, I wouldn't say the best of both worlds because it all sucked, but I learned a lot of things. But I do call it like city ways. See, there is a certain code of ethics in the country, a little bit different, usually. Because people live out here for a reason. It's not that they don't like to socialize. There's community places in town where, if a person wants to do that, and that's kind of too what I'm thinking is like I still want to move up by Lake Superior just to be by the lake and the people up around there. It's a whole different type of atmosphere. I don't know, they just don't seem so slutty. It's like they're more down to earth. Maybe it's because the winters are really rough and people help each other a lot in the winter. I don't know. No, I think it has more to do with the bloodlines of the people up around where I'm thinking about. That I'm not going to actually mention the actual town because I have a town that I am going to retire in, and nobody's going to know where I am at. If it comes to that, not even my kids would know. Yeah, because I don't see that I'll ever have anybody that really truly understands me like that in my life. I don't see it. you know. Any of you? Drop a comment. You're more than welcome. Talk about it. Don't be shy. I'm not. I used to be horribly shy when I was a kid. I mean, we were taught to, back in them days, children were to be seen and not heard. That was part of the conditioning tactics, too. That, too, if there was abuse going on in the home. And, like, you don't need to tell your business to everybody. All these little sayings that people say, there's a reason why these types of things are said in society, and it's not always beneficial, you know. My theory was, why not talk about, if you're talking about you, or you're telling a story, or if you tell somebody about a trip you went on, or what you're talking about yourself to people that are listening to you. And that's the point of the whole thing. So if you're not actually talking about yourself, the deepness of that, I don't know. I don't know. And then too, I heard a saying that Jordan Peterson said that Dr. Bachman had mentioned something that if you don't talk about your innermost self, you're not really expressing your whole self. Well, mm, sometimes that innermost self, depending on who they are, could be highly satanic, and what they're expressing may not be an actual human feeling. And on Jordan Peterson's case, um, and here's something really cool. I had shared something that Professor Dr. Bachman had written 2 years ago. I did not know that we felt the same about a couple different people that I think are total Fruit Loops on this planet, and one from a long time ago pushing different gender type uh, feelings into the world and the mixed up mumbo jumbo bullshit Sanguru. I talked to that Fruit Loop, probably about 13 years ago now, and told him, just stop your Masonic shit because I see you. And a few other things through the years. And then Jordan Peterson talking about how Dr. Wagner had, Wagner had written an article that they had asked him to submit. So he submitted this article, but he refused to say that women, more than women, can get pregnant, and they wanted him to call women birthing people and students scholars, and he refused to do that because a student doesn't know more than the scholar. And as a doctor, he has 4 doctrines. He's a professor and a medical doctor. No, those pupils do not know more than the teacher. And he's like, no, so he's not going to write those things. Then they wanted him to take out a verse that he had written in his article for them, talking about the Bible and how explicit and raunchy some of the sex scenes in the Bible actually are. And they wanted him to remove that, and he refused to do it. So they wouldn't publish his article. And these are people like on the same type of councils like Jordan Peterson and Sanguru and the rest of these fucking bozos pushing this shit. The Masonic bozos, the Mason babies. And so it was so cool to see that he actually had an issue with the Mason babies, and I wasn't even listening to him when he had made this video and wrote that article that I ran across. It's like, good for you. Good for you. No, pregnant women are not birthing people or birthing person. And children are, and people that want to boff children are not minorly attracted peoples. You're pedophiles and you're sick and you need your head chopped off. So, yeah. No, we actually do have things in common, and I didn't even know that, and I thought, good for you. Here's a medical doctor that is standing up for the right things and saying the things that he needs to do from a professional standpoint, and nailing these bastards pushing their agendas, and he refuses to be a part of it. So I wish him all the riches in the world, you know. Good for you, Doc. Way to go. So, yeah. It's like Dr. Sean Baker. He's always hitting it out of the park, too. He's refusing to put up with their nonsense, you know. He's usually a little more gentle language than a lot of people that I'd rather prefer your ranting at this shit. Somewhat, if you get my drift. You don't need to sugarcoat nothing, just say what's on your heart for the good of other people, no matter how it comes out. That's what I'm saying. I'd rather hear, no matter how it comes out, trying to say the right thing than people not saying anything at all. So, and yeah, when I'm done with this video, I'm going to watch a friend of mine, Narc Daily, Andrew. It's got a video titled, and I listen to him not for advice, for the camaraderie, because whatever you did, it wouldn't be enough. Well, just the title of the video. Yeah, I got it. You know, some of us, after a while, we finally just get it. There's nothing you can do about it. People that are not capable of true love are not capable of love. It's a whole different animal. And it's not something that we're combining with. We are not coming together with this. They have a decision to make, and that is what they will decide, who they are inside. I'm not pushing nothing on nobody like that. Who you want to be, I don't care. Just don't pretend to be something you're not, you know? Then that gives healthy people the right to decide whether or not they want that in their life. If you're upfront and you're honest, if you have no emotional human feelings, and that's who you are, that can be dealt with because at least we know up front. But if you're pretending you do and you actually don't, and you're lying about it because you derive that pleasure out of that, I am going to nail you to a wall. That's not the writing on the wall. It's like the stupid bitch is going to get nailed to a wall, no matter who that bitch is, male or female, because this nonsense isn't going to be overlooked and glorified on this planet anymore. And I'm not talking from a vengeance point of view. I'm talking about my life personally, what affects me and my children or my grandchildren personally. So whatever you want to do. But yeah, if I see people taking a fall for other people's poor ways, it's like, yeah, you got an enemy. And for somebody still, holding on to yesterday's or hopes of tomorrow or whatever, a leopard does not change its spots. So, whatever. So basically, what I'm saying is I've never had the level of understanding or love that I require, and I won't settle for less than what I deserve. And I just wish they'd quit playing games around me and leave me out of it. That's all I've ever asked. I even let them play games in front of me, and I'm not a cruel person. And hey, I went and bought a fucking pizza that's in the middle of a blizzard out of the kindness of my heart. This is the truth. And even more than that, I mean, what I did was absolutely no other person would have done, would have seemed absolutely crazy. So it isn't a matter of not wanting people to have nice things or feeling vengeful or anything like that. Or even that equated in what they do later on. I don't care. I just asked you to leave me alone. That's the part. Leave me out of the lying fantasy. That's not a lot to ask. But the only derivation that they can get out of that whole scenario is the glee they get from trying to hide their true selves from me. Why? Who cares? You know, it is what it is. That's the silly part, you know. Anyway, just the nonsense and the words and the bullshit and the games and the on and on type of feeling. It's like, really? I thought people grew up. I really thought that's what we were all meant to do, you know? It's like, what do you achieve? Saving face for who? You know? I already know you're a liar. Who are you saving your face for? I played a song that my ex used to sing to me. It was called The Dance by Garth Brooks. Because I had told him he was really getting ugly and that I hated him. And I did, and he was, and he did. But yeah. So that song totally applies to a part of my life. So I played it this morning, feeling that way again. And I mean, I have for a long time now, because I was stupid enough to try it again, and this one was really slick. The last one was slick because we were both young, just getting out of our teen years, and spent over a decade together, like close to 13 years. So from our almost getting out of teens to into our 30s, it's like, and then I met Slick, slippery, slippery when wet, yeah, absolutely. So why not keep your self pride and just be straight up, you know? It would give you your self pride. Be like, yeah, I like this woman. She might like be somewhat of a old hoe or a cow or whatever I think. But I'm not a man, so I don't know what appeals to a man, but what I'm thinking is whatever. When you have the best, I guess you have to fuck all the rest, at least mentally, to make yourself feel good. So whatever. But I just wanted to be left out of it, So I don't let my heart get pulled back in, not like that. But it is the irritation, the pain of them keep poking me in the same spot. It's like, look, I want to heal from your retarded shit. And I can't if I'm living around it every day, you know. So yeah. I don't know, that's all that's on my mind. It's just like I keep trying to save face on the same issues that go on forever and ever and ever. And I could never make any sense out of it because this is just something ingrained in that type of person that I've observed, that there are two different types of people in the world, but there's some that care and some that don't. And it's like, they don't seem to want each other. Why is that? Why don't you want another lying eyes just like you? Why wouldn't you? Because you want your cake and you want to eat it too. That's why. You want the best. And you want to play games. That's why. That's why they do it. Because they take glee out of the game itself. No matter what it takes, whether they look just absolutely stupid or even if they're like come home smelling nasty or whatever, you know what I mean? It's like it's hell. I'm living in hell. So no, life isn't always what you make it. You might have a chance to make it something different if you're stuck in a situation, or you can become accustomed to it. That's not something I care to do, but good luck with all that. I've seen people who do it. They seem happy enough. I mean, you're never going to entirely get back what they took from you because they did take that. But, besides that, you can still have healthy friendships without that type of stuff in your life. So, anyway. I'm gonna have to do something with my adrenaline. It's crazy inside right now, so yeah, I did exercise, but that's not good enough. It's just the lies and the bullshit. It does make me want to smack somebody. That's one of them fleeting thoughts, hopefully, you know. But I just hate it because I end up getting demeaned because of other people's actions, and that's the bottom line right there. I hate that shit. I'm not putting up with it. And that does deserve retribution on them, you know, because they're having a chance to just, you don't even have to fess up. Who cares? I mean, your actions speak who you are, you know. Just stop lying about it, you know. Just stop making other people feel low like you because you feel low. Or you think you feel high because you're acting low. In my world, you're acting low. Maybe not in Satan's, but in my world, you are. And tolerating it is acting low. To me, I want to associate and um, affiliate myself with that. That is satanic bullshit, their games. You know, it's the evil shit. I'm not teaching my kids that this is acceptable, is what I'm saying. None of you, you're working, or, you know, you're, if you're listening, whoever, any of my relatives, it's not acceptable. Don't accept it. It's bullshit. They show you who they are, that's who they are. Either live with it or whatever. But I personally am not accepting it ever. And it's just the game of hearing somebody's mind and their tiny fantasies and then tell me they're not living in the past, indicating that I shouldn't. No, this is yesterday, today, tomorrow, the next one, or the next situation, and all of it put together, and all the rest of you people just like that. That's what that is. No, that's looking forward to my future without any of that in mind. That's the, you know, so like I say, good luck to anybody. If you're not suffering and you're happy around all that, hey, good things for you to come. Hope it gets better. But in my experience with any of the people that are like that in their core, it doesn't get better because they like what they're doing. And unless you like what they're doing, things are not going to change like that in my life or your life or theirs. You know, they'll get better at the game, but you're going to still end up being the low life to them in the end. Every time. It doesn't matter. That's the way they think about it. They're king nothing. In their mind, they're king everything. Love doesn't destroy. It isn't love, period. So I'll just leave you on that note. So, okay, everybody. Peace and love from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Have a good night or day wherever you're at. I do love you. If you're have a heart like mine.